We are here. So Greg is here, obviously, and then you came to see. So you're the owner of
CrossFit Winnincy. Yeah.
Okay.
Co-owner.
Yeah, co-owner, girlfriend, or no, you have a business partner.
Yeah, business.
You have a business
And he's
partner.
my friend.
Yeah, there you go. And you've been in business for about 2 years. So you came to my seminar at Deuce in LA, right? That was about 5 months ago, and you've been trying to implement the system.
Yep.
Then we came here for the seminar, the San Diego seminar. So we got in touch, and then I came to do a training session at your place with Sarah.
Yep.
And you told me you had a few questions, mostly about business and how to implement the system and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I thought I'd get you in touch with Greg because Greg did all that for his own gym, so he's better positioned than me for all this. So please, Greg. There you
Dan.
go.
Hi.
Dan mean Greg, Greg mean Dan. There you go.
Yeah. So you, obviously, I don't know how long have you had was it a CrossFit gym in Vienna?
Well, I started off as a CrossFit gym like 5 years ago, and I ran it for somebody else. So more of a CEO for the gym.
So you were a manager, you weren't owner yet?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So 2 years ago, I bought the gym and I managed it on my own, and I started the process of thinking, all right, well, where's CrossFit heading to, and what's the base of CrossFit and the original intent of CrossFit.
So it was an affiliated CrossFit gym.
I did have an affiliated CrossFit gym, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And for me, CrossFit was all about being open source and open-minded.
Yeah.
All right. So I personally thought that this is not going in the right direction. So I started thinking about heading somewhere else. And that's when I found Julian and StrongFit through the Barbell Shrug podcast.
Yep. That's 2 years ago.
Did the first seminar in Los Angeles back at his old gym. And things started to change since then.
Okay. And so the great thing is he did it his way, let's put it this way. So he'll be able to point at most of the stuff, because the questions you have, most of our people have. So that's why we wanted to put it on tape, because then that way Greg can answer, because he keeps answering people about that, the business side. So I'm sure your conversation with you will be able to help so many people.
Totally. So after I took the seminar, it was a lot to take in at first, and I was trying to wrap my mind around it all. I was kind of obviously blown away like everybody else was when you leave there. And next thing you know, like a week and a half later, I was like, okay, I need to get some sandbags. We didn't have any sandbags in the gym, first of all. We weren't training like that. It was mostly, typical CrossFit stuff, barbell and gymnastics, all that stuff. But the torque chains and all that was a whole new eye-opener, and I was trying to, still am learning them and learning to teach them. But the main question was, how do I start implementing now that we have a good amount of equipment to do the type of style that StrongFit provides? How would you go about first? What I did was I somewhat introduced the sandbag first, and then just did the squats and some teaching of the oblique opener and the T-spine opener, but bicep opener. But that was about it. And I really didn't. It was maybe once a week we'd throw into a program. Yeah. But what would you are the do's and don'ts of implementing it as a newer gym and newer to StrongFit?
Okay, I think first of all, we as gym owners have to decide for ourselves and our gyms, what do we want to teach there? Or what kind of people do we want to teach there? Do you want to program for the average shows and soccer moms, 99% of the people, which for me was a clear decision. It was yes, that's what I want to do. Or you want to program for the 1% for the athletes. And I think there's a way to do both. But at first, my identity of the gym relies on teaching normal people, those people who show up 2 to 3 times a week. And that's it. They don't want to train 7 days a week or do any competitions. So I started off by, after attending the seminar and Coaches Week eventually, I started off by experimenting, sounds weird, but on my own, on my own body. Because actually the stuff that you hear at the seminar is pretty the opposite of what you think is right. So I kind of split up the right or wrong part and was like, all right, let's test it. All right, I'm always into trying stuff on my own and see if it works or it doesn't. So my only way to measure stuff is it working or is it not working?
By the way, That is extremely important. Don't believe it because I said it. Don't do that. Do not believe it because I said it. Trust me. I want you to go out there and try everything and see if I'm full of shit or not. But try to disprove me always.
So first of all,
That's the first step.
I went to the seminar and had a torn ACL due to playing American football and a couple of injuries due to my own misunderstanding of doing CrossFit. So I was very open-minded because my body was hurt and it was broken. So I started implementing the StrongFit principles in my own training for about 3 months. And gradually I experienced it's getting better, all right? So that was for me the point where I realized, all right, maybe there's something deeper down the rabbit hole than just using a sandbag versus a barbell, all right? So as I own a gym with around about 150 members and a couple of coaches, then I started bringing my coaches in, which I think is very important, or in your case, like you're a co-owner. Because I think for a gym, you have to be like a tribe, like a very, very tight bound together tribe, starting from the top down, from your owner to your coaches.
Yeah, what does he think?
Yeah.
The co-owner.
Oh, the co-owner, he's basically almost just like a silent investor.
Okay,
so it's basically what I...
it's you and your girlfriend?
Yeah, Haley,
Okay.
yeah.
Haley,
But,
so what is she thinking about? Is StrongFit working for her? Let's start with that.
Totally.
So
yeah,
she's on board
totally
then?
on board.
All right,
Yep.
okay.
She was.
But that's an important
once
part,
I
right? Yeah.
brought the concept to her, like, hey, we got to try these rope pulls and talk about torque chains, and she's like, okay, well, let's do
try
it. Let's get
I like
it.
it.
So I
Yeah,
was
as long
like,
as you try it. Yeah, there we go. I like it.
Perfect. So we are at step 2. That means you brought your coaches in, your coaches tried stuff on their own.
Right.
Because, I mean, people have to try and test it, like experiment with it. It's not like because you say it's right or wrong, it's because they experience it on their own. Like,
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And I mean, that's how we learn as human beings is we have to make our own mistakes, because we will never accept like an outside opinion, like on right or wrong, because we're gonna do it anyways. We're gonna experiment with it. That's what we do as human beings, right? So, and the next step was, all right, how can I bring my members on board?
Okay.
But by the way, that's super important, because do you want, for example, your people to make mistakes?
Yeah. Well,
Exactly,
yeah,
but that's my
I
point,
do,
right?
But I want to
Okay,
be
but that's
there.
welcome to coaching.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you want them to make mistakes. You just want to be there when they do it.
Right. Yeah.
But they need to make mistakes.
Right.
Otherwise, they won't learn. Welcome to. That's the problem too. Welcome to coaching, because so many of us is like, no, coach. People can make mistakes. I want your back to be straight. Otherwise, you're gonna. I mean, so they never experiment. They never learn. We get stuck into that loop as coaches a lot. So that's and then with new principles, that makes it complicated.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Exactly.
Something new, right? And it's something.
So
that,
now you're gonna let them make mistakes, but you go like, okay, but then I have to be there. But I'm not sure if it's a mistake or not, because I'm not comfortable enough with the principles. Exactly. So that means you have to experiment yourself first. So you have to be comfortable with it. Then you look at them going, "Oh, I made that mistake. It's all good."
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. That's the problem.
Okay, yeah.
Exactly.
So then I tried to bring my members in, and basically why I love to work with and for StrongFit is because we're allowed to make mistakes, because they will happen anyway. Because you can avoid mistakes by always being on the safe side, but that will only bring you like that far. So basically my motivation of doing this is giving a little bit of relief of somebody has done it and he's done all the mistakes in the world, and yes, I've done them. To basically help you avoiding them.
Yeah.
I mean, the one that closed you down.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the thing
fatal
is,
ones, yeah.
you can't avoid all mistakes. You never grow. So which one do you avoid? Because if I don't let you make mistakes, you'll never learn. Then you're going to follow what I say. Maybe that doesn't work for you. You'll never learn. So some mistakes you're going to have to make, others you don't. It's like having a kid, really. So you don't want the mistakes that land you in jail. Every other one, it's all good. I'm not going to let you jump out of the 5th story window, but if you want to jump out of something a bit high and hurt yourself, as long as you don't break any bones, it's all good. How did you learn? I mean, by doing stupid shit. You can't, you don't want to, it's not even that you can't, it's you don't want to avoid it.
Right. And it's the whole new concept, of philosophies and,
Yeah, there's, again, I don't want you to make the mistakes that close your business down.
Right.
But
obviously.
you're going to have to learn the other shit for yourself. Because you have to teach yourself. There's just no way around it. And randomness is a part of it. So which mistake? So we're going to teach you what the ones that you could close yourself down on.
Right.
That don't do that one.
Yeah, that right.
That one
Okay.
don't do that one because I'm not helping anybody. I think we can all agree. So
Right.
Let's close to that one.
like you went okay. Explain because that one
Yeah,
makes me laugh every single time.
Yeah. So I went back from the seminar. I experimented on my own body. I brought the coaches in. So that was a couple of months period of time.
Okay.
Then I was like, hey, we're kind of ready to transport the message to our members as well. So we did a big Q&A, and I presented the StrongFit principles more or less, and I expected like huge positive emotions and
Applause even.
kind of applause.
Yeah.
No, it's just silent applause, which didn't happen because I made the mistake of taking something completely out in a way, which was like the CrossFit stuff, like the barbells, etc. And more or less, and I have to admit that was a huge mistake of mine, more or less the fun out of the group training. So, and from a psychological standpoint,
So you took out all barbell?
Yes, that's how I started.
We just had sandbags and ropes?
that makes him laugh every
Sled?
single time.
So no deadlift or?
Exactly.
No barbell! Oh no.
That's how I wanted to start, and I started like
Definitely,
from a very that's I wouldn't recommend that.
Don't do that one.
okay.
So we know now.
Yeah.
We tried. Don't do that one.
So I explained the system, and from then on, we tried to make the programming, let's say, more balanced than just barbells or just sandbags. I think there's always a middle ground way to do things. It's never like the very harsh way. Like it's not a 0 or a 1. Like as
So you went from 0 to 10. You went like
probably
does
0 to
that.
10. Yeah.
At least you knew you were all in, and
was. There's no doubt
that
there.
didn't work out that well.
Okay.
Let's be honest. Okay.
So
Gradual way to do things.
Yeah. So
that's where I wanted.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why. But that's why he made the mistakes, because then he can tell you, okay, that was too much. But the other ones, they can tell you which one to make, which one not to make.
yeah, why did I do them? Because StrongFit started as a one-on-one training principle gym, more or less. So it was geared towards one-on-one training.
Just like Greg Glassman did it. It was
Yeah.
mostly one-on-one.
Yeah.
And then
So it was one-on-one. So and most people who came to visit Julian were either injured or broken or both. So they didn't complain about just using sandbags or yokes.
It didn't hurt.
Yeah.
That was a carrot.
right.
Because that was the ultimate goal, to get pain-free again. So not everybody in group classes has to be fixed.
Right.
So the middle way is, all right, let's fix people through solid group programming. All right. There's a need for people to be taken out into one-on-one sessions if you're like in acute pain or if something's not working. All right. So if you, for example, your right lat is not firing, I have to take you out of the class and make that work, and then it puts you in the class again. Okay. So that's the origin of StrongFit. So as a one-on-one group training. As a one-on-one training system. So what is CrossFit? CrossFit is based on what? Group training, obviously. So there's a lot of community aspect in that. There's a lot of fun aspect in that. There's a lot of feeling better through group training, meeting your friends, doing cool workouts. That's the base of CrossFit. All right. So what I had to do is I had to merge those two more or less systems together.
Very good point about this. What do you think people come to the gym for? Give me the top 3.
I think our values that we offer here, like what,
No, like when they come to the gym, what do they want? What is the first thing they want?
lose weight,
So
most likely.
I would say feel better.
Yeah.
Then
Feel better.
community, their friends are there.
Yep.
And then performance.
Right. Yeah.
Let's be honest, performance is third, right?
Well, I definitely probably say that might be third. Yeah. But
Yeah.
there's a few that look. I've had this experience already
Yeah.
where they've come in. They're like, hey, I have no idea what I'm doing at the gym at 24 Hour Fitness or wherever else.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've been doing it wrong, I think. So and that's kind of what I get at.
And then, so they have a goal coming in, right? But if they feel like shit every single time, they won't come back.
That's
If they don't make friends, they won't come back.
Right.
So performance is third. Now let me ask you, so the community aspect is number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been to your gym. Where do people hang out at your gym? It's a community, they have to hang out somewhere.
They're just
Exactly. So, is something missing then?
they don't really hang. I mean, they come in.
Exactly. Have you been to Deuce?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you notice that table outside? Did you
Yeah.
notice that about like a third of the people there don't train? They're just hanging out and everything. Does that make the gym look cool just on that alone?
Yeah.
You there? There's always people. There's always people.
Yeah.
That's a good community.
Yeah.
Logan knows how to create a community.
Yeah.
You notice he has a place to hang out, and he says training is not optional.
That could be.
That could be an improvement.
Could be improvement.
Yeah.
So it's more or less creating a safe environment, which is obviously provided by your expertise coaching, because that makes it safe for people, because it's not 20-hour fitness where nobody cares about you. It's no, they come to your gym first of all to feel better, and they are having like a safety net through you, through your coaches.
But you don't have a safe place at your gym, though. When you come in, you're gonna die, because I'm gonna train you really hard. So that's great. So where's the safe place, though? Like, you know, that place we just hang out and sit, and
Yeah.
even after the training, right? I just died. I need a place to fucking sit just to
Right.
recover my senses. Where is that?
Yeah, and I remember like reading what's the book called? Onward from Howard Schultz. Yes, it is. Onward.
The second one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I read
It's
the book.
Pour Your Heart Into It is the
Yeah.
first one, and On Board Something is the
So
second one.
the founder or CEO of Starbucks, his actual goal was to create like a third place outside of your work and home.
That's in the first one. That's Pour Your Heart Into It.
Yeah, put your heart into it. Where you could go and hang out.
Right.
So that was
That was
kind of-
Starbucks.
Yeah, that was super new for the States.
It wasn't the coffee. It was the coffee. It was the experience around the coffee.
Yeah, you get like free Wi-Fi and you get to hang out with people. And there's a
They'll warm
place.
up your food if you want to. You don't have to drink coffee. You just go hang out, man. That's why you put the music and all the stuff with the music and the playlist and this and the decoration and the tables. And
So we as gym owners, we
Makes
tend
complete sense.
exactly. We
yeah,
tend-
otherwise, you just get fucking coffee at the and then you're out.
Yeah.
But that's not that. Look at the coffee shops.
but that's a performance-based gym right there.
Yeah, exactly. Look at the coffee shop. Huh? You just sit. You're there all day. You work on free Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I go to coffee shops.
Yeah.
It's not just the coffee. It's because it's a place. I'm not at home, but it's like home. Except I get lazy at home. So now I come here. I can work all day.
Okay.
And by the way, I'll buy 3 coffee in the meantime.
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Makes complete sense.
So here's my biggest mistake. I tried to change my gym through programming rather than changing the culture and the identity through creating a safe environment and a safe place and a cool place to hang out. Because what are people attracted to? Like they talk about, ooh, he's got a new coffee shop in there. There's a cool Dodgeball Tournament there.
Yeah.
They're not talking about, ooh, he's got the like the best program in the world. Because why? They don't know.
They can't tell the
I
difference.
remember you talking about this at the seminar,
Yeah.
saying there's so many hipster coffee shops. They're all the same, but they
But
all
yet they're all fucking full. Look how many people in there.
Right, exactly, yeah.
And you go like it's
and that's what I took
Yeah.
away also from your
Yes.
your seminar, and I was like, okay, well, who are we? What are our values? What is our culture?
what is different.
Yeah, what is so
yeah,
special
exactly.
about us what
Yeah.
sets us apart? That
But they also need the safe place so they can realize. that
Right, yeah.
If they can't, so they come, they die, they leave, then there's never a community. There's never they need a place to stay, get a coffee, or get your barista course on board, like because we're gonna have that for StrongFit, and get a fucking get a coffee machine. Just create a place, a safe environment. So it's mentally they're gonna be safe because they know you're gonna take care of them. But need to be a physical safe place as well, so they can hang out and talk. And you have like 5 people all day. It looks busy. It's great. You start to create something. I mean, that
Right.
is yours.
Yeah.
It's not just a place where they train. It's home.
And that will give you.
with developing that space, I mean,
A little bit. Okay, is that space worth it?
so yeah, no question.
And that's your
Okay.
answer then.
Yeah. No,
Do you
that's
really
the
need that
now it's
space for
our
an extra
vision.
barbell?
No.
Okay, it's a fairly big space, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how
Yeah,
many
I think-
people do you get in a class? Because you only have one class at a time, I know that.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
how many people?
Probably about 6 to 8.
Okay,
that
I think you
again,
can take, a few square feet to make something where they could hang out.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure you can reorganize the stuff. I've seen a few corners where.
I get a pretty creative girlfriend.
Exactly.
She's
Just
just-
set her on that, man.
machines,
Yeah.
chairs, and that's it.
A place where they could just hang out. Yes, and you
That's the beginning. That's just,
by you taking that space, you're saying something. Look, this is a place where we can use to train. I'm going to get just for you guys to hang out. You're saying something already. You're saying it's a place where I'm not just going to train. This is a place for the community as well.
Okay, so why is that working? I wrapped my head around this like 100 times. Why is it working? Because we have to deal with the human being first. Not with the gym member, but with the human being.
So this started, you realizing that started after you what happened? Did things kind of fall apart when you took away?
Well,
the
when I
barbells?
realized, because when I brought in StrongFit programming to my gym, I thought
How
like,
did you bring it in though? Did you like, hey guys, we're meeting here this
Yeah,
night,
so I made
and
a
I'm going to
Q&A.
go over
Yes.
the torque chains.
You
and-
trick them into a Q&A. Tell the whole story.
yeah, so I
like, not all members are going to be able to show up. I
No,
mean,
but
how
that's why
many-
you trick them.
yeah, so I basically did a handstand workshop.
And
but
you said you had 150 members at the time or something like
Yeah,
that?
but so around, what is that, 60, 75 showed up. So I said,
wow,
we'll
yeah.
do a handstand workshop, but you have to attend the Q&A in order to get the handstand workshop.
Okay.
Okay, that was kind of mean, but that was the purpose of it.
You know, a 20-minute Q&A?
Yeah.
Like when it was 3 hours? Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's just like, oh my gosh.
And so that was for me the starting point to realize, all right, you can't start with good programming, as stupid as that sounds, because it's so obvious, but you have to create a safe place first and treat the human being first.
Okay.
And then that gives you the opportunity to plant a seed that may have programming in it. Then people are like, yeah, let's talk. And it's a casual talk then. You sit down with a coffee, you talk to them. Like, it's a lot of work to talk to people. But that has to be the job of us gym owners. Like, explain stuff, transfer the knowledge. Like, I've told this story like 100 times now.
Okay.
Yeah, but it is worth it because that is my experience, my personal experience.
You know what I discovered by doing all this? I was never a gym owner. I was a coach who rented a space. It's not the same. Being a coach and being a gym owner is not the same. Because now you have to be a manager, you're going to have coaches at some point and everything, and now you're the one who gives an identity to the gym. I did not do that. My gym back in Torrance, if I'm not there, there's no money, there's nothing, because I'm just training one-on-ones. I was never a gym owner. I was a coach who rented a space. I never developed a community, I never had a place for people to hang out, I never developed a gym. I developed myself as a coach. So I rented a space for me to become a better coach. I was never a gym owner because I never developed a gym. That's the danger. You're still a coach.
Yeah.
You have to be a gym owner. That's what it is. That's what he figured out. That's what I figured out by seeing the difference between good gyms and bad gyms. It's always the owner. The owner is the single most important person in the gym because he's going to want to create a culture for the gym or a lack thereof. And if you don't, he'll fall apart. And then when a new coach comes in, he'll take over because if he's a strong-minded guy or whatever, he'll be his culture, not yours. That's when shit always the shit hits the fan and stuff like that. Then the second you bring in someone and it's his culture versus yours, now you start clashing and then he takes off and takes 50 of your people and shit like that. I was never a gym owner. Okay. That's what I realize now. I was just a coach who, I was out to better myself. Thank God I did that, but
Yeah.
I was never a gym owner. Exactly. But that's not, but you're not just a coach. You're also a gym owner now.
Yeah.
So now you have to do that.
Yeah. This is great. Yeah, totally.
And so that's what he learned. Yeah.
So when we talk about more practical applications like programming, okay, so I started off, like, if you think about an arch, very much on one side, which was obviously the StrongFit programming, like sandbags and yokes and sled, like all day, every day. That kind of lacks some certain pretty important stuff like fun.
Oh, that thing. Yeah, right.
It
that thing.
Especially if you started off as a CrossFit gym. So all of a sudden you're not doing any Metcons anymore, but rather using sandbags and sleds every single day. All right, that wasn't a good idea. So
How long did that go on for? Did you?
Well, I'm pretty stubborn, so I would say like 3 months.
3 months.
So once the pressure got so intense, I was like, all right, let's rethink it.
So was any of the members saying anything, or did they
Absolutely.
say behind your back? that
Absolutely.
they
No,
were-
I lost 25 members because of it.
right off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them
They're probably like,
some of
what
them
the
was a
hell's
good
going
thing,
on,
but
Greg?
no, but some of them were like, I want to snatch whether I hurt myself or not. I don't know if you want that guy, but yeah.
So we kind of readjusted the programming and balancing the arch more in bringing, like, we're still using StrongFit principles, like, but we use like a rope pull and a sandbag press for a strength part, for example.
Okay.
We programmed the Metcons towards what CrossFit was meant to be anyways in the beginning. Like, what is Fran supposed to be? It's a muscle failure workout. Like, you know the story why Coach Glassman programmed it the way he did? It's like
Just lay flat
21
on your
reps?
back.
yeah,
No,
exactly.
21 reps,
No, he
because
went
you
from
couldn't do
muscle
22.
failure. So
Yeah.
21, hit the
couldn't do
pull-up
22.
bar.
Went
21.
to 15, you couldn't do 16.
So
if he could do front, which I still don't understand with that hip. That's another problem. That's another problem. But that was the point. So, but again, like StrongFit is not a method. That was the problem. Is it's a set of principles.
Yeah,
It was
you use
never
it,
designed-
we use it as a method.
You can use StrongFit for Olympic weightlifting,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
You can use it for powerlifting. So it's not a method. It's a set of principles. Greg tried to turn it into a method. It's not. It was never designed to be a method. It is not a method. It's a set of principles. I use sandbags because for very specific reason, I think it's better than a barbell. But that doesn't mean you can't use a barbell. I just
Right.
happens to believe sandbag is better for a certain set of reasons that I explained. But you can use the same principle with a barbell. One does not stop you. I just think it's a lot easier with a sandbag, a lot simpler with a sandbag.
So using the StrongFit principles for strength training, for the metcons, we still stick to like the fun part of it. For example, like we do 3 rounds of whatever. Let's do Helen, 400 meter run, kettlebell swings and pull-ups. All right. We program it a little bit differently. So we're doing like 1 set. You go all out, you got a minute rest, and you hit it again, like as hard as you can. That's what it was supposed to be and meant to be
So
in the
you
beginning.
can go to muscle failure, but they won't be able to go muscle failure for 3 rounds because they're not at the level. So they'll pace the first one.
Right.
So that way, with a minute break, you don't. So you get to muscle failure.
Okay.
It's just I mean, like it's just according to principles. That's all.
So it's mixing those elements together. And it's not about avoiding the barbell because I made a test at my gym because I skipped deadlifting with a barbell for 6 months. But rather than teaching the technical skill of a deadlift, we put in a lot of structural work, so for the obliques and all the muscles needed for a deadlift. And I brought it in 6 months later, and like everybody could deadlift after like 5 minutes of explanation.
Everyone was good
Because
to
the
go
structure
of
was
the,
there.
The openers and
Exactly.
everything like that.
So for me personally, like the technical skill of lifts is highly overrated. I would get bashed for this a lot. But for me, the most important part is to build up the structure for those lifts. So the teaching itself gets so much easier then.
Okay.
Because we don't have to worry about, all right, my shoulder's wanky. No,
Right.
there's just a shot.
Yeah, or it's just compensating compensation.
Yeah.
And that only leads to downhill. Yeah, if they have a strong structure and the right muscle activating, that's technique for you right there. That's what technique is activating the right muscles. That's where the work is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's,
But
when you got someone coming in.
But if they don't have it, how can they deadlift?
Exactly.
Exactly. So you're screwed anyway, right?
Right.
So you're gonna have to explain and take the time. And does it take time? Yeah.
So then, sorry to interrupt you.
No,
but
no,
to
no.
go
That's
on,
fine.
like
That's
when you, let's say when you have someone that walks to the gym or someone new, right? That how do you implement on ramps or your foundations now? Do you do one-on-ones or is it like groups of 3?
Yeah, so I always start with a 60-minute talk with me and the new prospect. I explain the philosophy of my gym in every single detail. So for me, it's such an important part because we are trying to match expectations, but we're not forcing to match expectations, all right? I'll tell you my side of my gym, my philosophy. You can either agree on it or you don't. But if you don't, you're not gonna train at my gym. So I set out the rules, and if you accept them, like you get everything you want from me. All right. So I'll explain why we're using StrongFit principles, how the intro process runs, what are you gonna see, what you don't get to see in our classes.
But it's a relationship, so it's the first date, right? And you realize the first date is going like shit because you don't have the same values. I don't think the second day is going to go well.
Right.
They usually don't get better.
If
then.
there's someone that was just
Look, I want to make it to the CrossFit Games. Dude is 42, never trained a day in his life, and say I want to make it to the CrossFit Games as a 45-year-old. How much do you snatch? 95 pounds.
It's going to take a lot.
And my shoulder, by the way, my shoulder is busted. It's like, but I want to do a muscle up in the next 3 months. And you have those guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so you're not going to bullshit him, right? Okay, but he said, but that's what I want. Then maybe, let me explain to you why it's, I don't want to say not realistic because that's people never like it, but say like, look, it takes as long as it takes. I'll fix you, but you have to give me the tools to be successful. It's like, no, I want it, then you have, you know what I mean? Like it's
Right,
it's
no,
a first
yeah,
date, man. If
understand.
that's what that 60 minutes is for. It's not just because the client is always right, is bullshit. That's not true. Because if the client was always right, we'd keep doing 40 minutes EMOMs and AMRAPs and everybody would be doing better. Guess what? It's not working. No, the client is not always right. They're coming to you to figure out basically how to train and everything. So that approach that they're paying us there for, no. You do things, that's your culture, that's your gym. This is how you do. They either fit or they don't.
Okay.
But it has to be that way. Now, I mean, so just because you don't like them, then it won't work.
Right.
Now, I mean, like just because he's paying does not mean you're gonna. No, the client is not always right, man. Just because he's paying doesn't mean you do things his way. No, you have your coaching. This is what you believe in, and that's how it's gonna be. And they fit within it or not.
I changed my view a lot on it, on the pricing especially, because what are they paying for? I see it as they're paying for me and my coaches for the craft of coaching to getting that. Like if you go to a carpenter or to a butcher, you expect a certain service because he's learned his craft. And that's what I think people start losing is they pay for renting the equipment.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think
exactly.
That
is not the right mentality. Imagine you go to butcher, say I want it cut like that. Do this, like there's a knife. Go do it. But that's why it's coming to you. It's like I want to do muscle up. Like these rings at 24-hour fitness, dude. I mean, there is now.
That is your culture, and you have like the most unique gym with the newest equipment, etc. What if someone opens next door and has newer equipment or more fancy equipment?
They come for you, man.
So okay. So after the intro, like my intro talk, we'll start with one-on-ones. So there's a mandatory amount of one-on-ones that I'll do with the prospect. All right. So there's no on-ramp programming rather than one-on-one sessions.
Okay, so,
all right.
yeah.
So we teach openers. We build up structure when necessary. We do an assessment with them first. So we don't have a paper where there's a guideline for the first 5 sessions. It's like, okay, we do an assessment. If there's the structure A missing, we'll work on that first. All right.
Does that require us to have balls to do things no one else is doing in your field?
Yeah.
Exactly. So we're going back to culture. You're going to have to be like, this is the way I do things. So we're going back to you as a gym owner, going, this is how we do things.
And it's more expensive because you charge more for one-on-ones. They'll be questioning it, like why I don't have to do that at gym X and Y.
Right.
But are you worth it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but if you don't believe that, then they won't either, by the way.
Right.
So we're going back to culture. You have to believe you're worth the money you're going to ask for. You've seen me when I ask money with the assessment. It's like, yeah, it's that much. Why? Because then you're going to listen to me.
Yeah.
It's $400 an assessment. Yeah, and guess what? You're going to listen to me when I say something.
Yeah.
But if I go with 75, go. That's human nature.
Right. Yeah,
That's human nature. I've said it. I've given an assessment for free. You know what my success rate has been? 0%. They never do what I ask, ever.
Yeah. Because
Human nature.
value.
Because there's no value in it. Human nature, man.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
All right. So you did the one-on-ones.
I did the one-on-ones.
For how? But
for an infinite number, because how long is it going to take? As long as it takes. If you come in and have like a frozen shoulder, I'm not the one telling you how long it's going to take. Maybe 6 months.
Right.
It comes with a frozen shoulder. And guys say, how long before I can snatch? Exactly. How the fuck should I know?
Yeah.
Exactly. But again, you're facing that.
Okay.
But once you created a culture of like people trusting you, and because what we're doing right now is neither working in or on the system, it's creating a new system. So it has never been done before. So it takes some time and some setbacks, obviously, but it's worth it, because that's the only way how you bring deconditioned people, maybe people in pain, through the process of training properly. Because my take on it is, what's the other option for them? All right, they can go for a run.
Yeah.
Yes, they can. No one's going to teach that, by the way. They can go to Global Gym. No one's going to be there for them, by the way. So, all right, so we have a huge responsibility of taking care of people first. So my process is I'll talk with them, I'll bring them through one-on-one sessions, and once they are ready for group sessions, they go in group sessions. And I'll tell them straight away.
Who decides?
Me.
Exactly. You, not them. They don't get to tell you when they're ready.
And 99.9% of the people accept that.
The customer is always right. It's not true.
I mean, yeah, that's what I've been doing right now. All I've been doing
There
is
you go.
one-on-ones. And usually it's a...
Okay, by the way, an important question before I continue. Define to me success. You opened 2 years ago.
Right.
When you started, what did you think success would mean 2 years at the point of 2 years of opening? How many did you gauge it on how many numbers you would have?
No, I never... well, my business partner expected a lot more numbers.
No, that's why I'm curious. How many members did you expect after 2 years?
He expected probably around at least 100.
See, that's what we all been sold into.
Right.
Like you build one. You know the movie with Kevin Costner, Build It and They Will Come. You just build a CrossFit gym.
Dreams.
Yeah, Field of Dreams. You open one, and then within 1 year, 1 year and a half, you get 100 members, and then from here, so you make 20 grand a month. You pay 5 toward grand, 5, and then you make 10 grand at the end. We've been sold that bullshit.
Yeah.
Guess what? You're exactly where everybody else is. You're at the 65 mark. Yeah, it's about 2/3 what you thought after 2 years. You're doing really good. But that's the problem.
Yeah.
Is our definition of success is not always realistic, and the biggest problem is a timeline.
Yeah.
Like we all gauge on quality of coaching, but we all have a number in mind. The problem is we all thought it would take a year, maybe a year and a half, where the realistically is 4 years to get there. That's been the problem. Is what we've been sold as a timeline. Success will come for sure. The problem is the timeline. So we all think, like I'll make that much money into you. No, you won't. And now you realize you're working 60 hours a week for not enough.
Well, that's the sacrifice I've been putting in. Like no.
But it would be so much easier when you open. You're gonna go like 2 years from now. I'll have 50 members, and then I'll work 60 hours a week for $2 grand a month. If they had told you that, then we'll see who will open, by the way, because not everybody will then. And then you'll go like, that's my life for the next 2 to 4 years. Then it would be a lot fucking easier.
Yeah.
Than going like 100 members after 1 year and it's all good, and then you get the house on the beach.
Yeah.
But that's what we've been sold, though.
Yeah. No,
I struggle with that as well. Yeah.
I didn't expect that. I knew that that wasn't gonna be the situation.
You were smarter than I was then.
I knew that someone believed in me, like my business partner, and he's like, okay, well, here you go, let's do it. And my goal is just to be, just constantly learn. I'm a student of this, so like figuring out what you went through, and I think.
No, but there's the business aspect of it. By the way, because you have your girlfriend and everything, you guys don't want to struggle for the next 3 years. That's not cool. I mean, you want to make a living, at least to stay open. Otherwise, you can't. So that's the thing. But I was entirely unrealistic about what it took. I had no idea what it took to open a gym. Again, I was never a gym owner, so I had no idea about business, stuff like that. I did not help myself on that either. But I've seen that problem with CrossFit a lot, where they go like build 18 months, 100 people.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a big part of this as well. I mean, because then you're going to have to define what success is for you in the next 6 months. Is it based on number of people?
No.
But then that means you're willing to accept a certain loss when you do things your way.
Right.
With what that means.
And
But so you can't go like it's not about numbers and then you lose 10 clients and freak out. And now you're going Groupons, you're making compromises to get back to the numbers, because that was never your definition of success to start with. You see where people get it wrong?
Yeah.
They go like, no, it's not about number of people. They lose 10, they freak out, they go to Groupons. I was like, you said that was not your definition of success. Then what happened? Yeah. That's the problem people have. Now, I mean, it's like they're not being either honest with themselves or whatever on what success is. You have to be very precise on what you think success is, and that will mean where you go from there.
Okay.
But you don't get to say, I want to be a better coach, freak out because you lost 10 people, because you coach them the way you want.
Right.
Then you're just setting yourself up to fail.
Obviously, I've had like those moments of thoughts, like, oh, what am I doing this wrong?
You need to have them.
But no, I just continue and push.
Good, but you need to face those thoughts now.
Yeah.
Because you will lose at least 5 out of this, because some will be like, it's not CrossFit or whatever. Then you'll gain 5.
Yeah.
But the 5 you'll gain will be worth 10 times the one you lost. But how long to gain? Because losing 5 can be really fast.
Yeah.
Gaining 5 can be slower.
Yeah.
Are you willing to put the grind? Okay, but those are the things you have to face now.
Right.
Not while it happens, otherwise you'll freak out.
Right, yeah.
We've all been there. We've all been there. So you need to face that from the beginning, going, if I do things my way, that is different from others, I'm saying something. Okay, so that's a message you're going to have to constantly reinforce. That means you don't have the backing from the CrossFit suddenly, and then other gyms are bullshitting people that you don't bullshit anymore. When you're in a position where you don't bullshit people versus all the other ones that don't have the same ethics, that allow themselves to bullshit people into a 6-week lie, makes your life a lot harder. It's called sticking to your guns, by the way, but that makes life harder.
Yeah. Well, being honest and true, I think that's...
Right?
So, Coach told me a story in summer, which was, I think, perfect on point for this. That was, okay, maybe you will reach 150 members after 18 months. Okay, but did you stick to your values and your identity, or has victory defeated you? Because once you have that and you sacrifice so much of your identity and what you actually did that for in the beginning, yet you'll always get like, all right, I'm super successful in terms of numbers, in terms of business, but is that truly what you want to do? It's like helping people, because I think originally that's where every gym owner starts or has to start.
You know, when you walk into your gym and you're like, yeah, you know, so it's not like a real, I hate this. It's more a lot of leaves on your coat that weighs it down.
Okay.
So it's not, there's not one weight on your coat, it's just 100 leaves and it weighs it down. So it's so fucking heavy to carry, but you can't really pinpoint to one thing in particular. You just walk in and you always that, you know what I mean? So, and then you have that every single time you walk into your gym. How long is going to passion survive? This is what kills passion. It's never one thing that kills passion. It's 1,000 leaves you carried everywhere you go. Anytime you walk in and kinda, almost, yeah. Imagine you look at your girlfriend. I know every time you look at her, you're thinking, oh my God, she's so pretty. Okay? Imagine you every time you look at her, you go like, yeah.
How long is that gonna last?
Yeah. Could have done better.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but
Yeah, I get it.
how long do you think that's gonna last?
Not long.
No, passion is not gonna last long, right?
Right.
You might make a marriage of arrangement of money is good. She has a
Right.
rich father.
Right. That's not.
Is that what do you want the girl who has a rich father for your gym, or do you want the one every single day you go, mother, I love that woman?
Yeah. That's,
Well, then that's had to be your gym too.
Yeah.
So, but there are sacrifices to be done.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, when you want a girl who has so much passion, that goes with tension usually.
Oh, always.
It's funny how that works, right?
yeah.
The one you don't give a shit about, you're like, you say whatever you want, honey.
Yeah.
Because your father is rich, you get to tell me whatever you want. It's all good because you don't give a shit. You wake up in the morning going, I have a nice car outside, you can treat me like shit, it's all good. That car is worth it. Or you have the one you absolutely love, which means you go fucking insane half the time.
Yeah. That's basically what it is.
Exactly. It's funny how that works, right? So that's your gym. Which gym do you want?
Yeah.
So it has to be based on that.
Coming back to more practical applications.
Yeah.
So we had the intro talk, we had the one-on-ones, we have the group training. I think it's super important to, and by the way, I think there's still a way to program performance-based and like average show-based. So what we're doing is in our group training, first of all, my basic baseline is how often are you training with me? Like how much time are you giving me? Are you showing up twice a week?
Right. So attendance is what.
Exactly. So probably there has to be a different kind of training for you than someone who shows up like 6 times a week.
Right.
All right. So it's 2 versus 6 hours a week. So what we're doing, and that's my method. That's not my. I'm sticking it on principles. That's my method. That's working for my members. It's like I have a base fitness class where that's geared towards 2 or 3 times training a week. That's what is that? 85% of my gym, 90% of my gym is training in an average 3 hours a week. Okay. So there's a basic strength and conditioning program based on StrongFit principles right there. All right.
So that's a totally separate class?
It's a baseline. So the other 15% of the people have to do it as well, but additionally, they can do some more sport-specific training. All right. I see it as there's a training program and there's sport-specific classes. All right, training program, you do it 3 days a week, you're good. All right. If you want to train sport-specific classes, which is weightlifting, powerlifting, like more towards old school CrossFit classes, you have to have those baseline classes like 2 times a week. And then you can go into sport-specific training. Why? Because I have to make sure you have the structure first, and then you can add on your powerlifting or your weightlifting or whatever. All right?
Because you understand the proper,
exactly,
the chains and all.
and it
If
makes
they break, they can make progress.
and it still makes it so much easier to teach a powerlifting class if the structure is there, or a weightlifting class if the structure is there.
Okay.
And we're still sticking to StrongFit principles during those classes in powerlifting and weightlifting. So I'm not like, all right, powerlifting starts with 3, 2, 1, we grab our barbell and we deadlift. No, we're still working on, all right, let's activate the obliques, let's go for whatever, stiff leg deadlift, let's go for whatever, teres major activation for your deadlift. So we're still sticking to the principles and combining that with sport-specific training classes.
So when you get so let's say that's a 6 a.m. class, you have your 2 to 3 times a week people, then you have your sport specific. They're in the same class.
They're
2 separate.
2 separate classes.
But they're at the same time.
They're at the same time, basically in the evening. So our schedule is like we have single classes in the mornings and in the afternoons. So at our peak times, like 5 and 6:30, we start implementing like sport-specific classes. Additionally, but run by a different and separate coach.
Okay, so it's a completely different.
It's a completely different class.
But they're still obviously, like you just said, they're consistent with all the openers.
But
it's a bit like the grappling classes we had. We had one for white belts and blue belts, and then there was a separate like class for where they would teach higher. Like if you go to jiu-jitsu class, you'll have white and blue belts, and there's also a black belt class. Because in the black belts, you're not going to do the same shit you do as a white and blue belt, but you still have to do the white. Everybody has to start with white and blue belts. Right. It's a belt system that you have to have that in your gym.
I still think you don't have to get rid of snatches and deadlifting. I think there's a place to train that, but there has to be something before that, like creating your structure and building up your structure, and then you're gonna go snatch and deadlift afterwards.
A snatch is a purple belt, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So you have to start with white belt. White belt doesn't necessarily snatch. You have to. So what do? They give them a PVC. So instead of scaling the weight, how about we scale the movement? So instead of giving you to snatch a PVC, which creates no stimulus, how about you throw a sandbag as high as you can, a med ball? It's still a triple extension, but now the stimulus is much higher. So which one do you think is going to yield the better results? Throwing for stimulus, throwing a heavy sandbags up, or a PVC pipe?
Sandbag up.
So we scale the movement, not the weight. You will still get the stimulus, but it's an simpler movement to do because he has less skill.
Yeah.
And we still get the stimulus though, which was the point of what Greg Glassman wanted. He wanted the stimulus, not the snatch.
Right.
It was never about being able to snatch. It was about creating the stimulus. So let's do that. Instead of scaling with a PVC pipe, we scale with a fucking med ball throw, sandbag throw, something throw.
Something.
Not a kettlebell, but yeah, might kill someone, but yeah.
So that makes complete sense then.
So that's
what we basically did. So that's the base of our fitness classes, so the 2 to 3 times a week classes. We still have to hit certain movement patterns, absolutely, but we're scaling the skill and not the weight. So for example, we are barely, or let's say never, back squatting with a barbell in our fitness classes, but we're squatting a lot, like with sandbags, we do front squats, we do sandbag squats, we do goblet squats. So the stimulus is there. And for me, in my opinion, the true results from a gym programming is, can you make people better through general programming? That means you don't elicit any more imbalances or deficiencies. So I take pictures of my members, not secretly, they know about it. So, and I see people's bodies and structure changing through the regular programming. So for me, that's super big relief, because I know now that there's a way to program, still keep the fun in, make them structurally better, and have fun at it, and most importantly, create an intense stimulus through training. So there's a way to do it, and that's what makes me.
But stimulus means you scale movements, not weight. Because without PVC, it's not going to create the stimulus.
Right. Got it.
So but you were saying you also have an issue when people walking through the door, right? To do the assessment part. That's because you haven't done Coaches Week yet. Because I can do it in a seminar. We'll have to do the Coaches Week, then I can show you the process. And even when you have the process, you're going to have to do one assessment or two a week for the next 4 to 6 months, and then you'll be more comfortable with it.
That's
timeline of success, man. In a way, yes. It's just people, and don't get me wrong, Instagram is to blame for this, but people have that idea that simple is fast or easy, and it's not. Like the StrongFit principles are very simple to grasp. That doesn't mean they're easy to put into action or fast. You're gonna have to absorb all the knowledge, and that takes. We're making a cold brew. It takes 24 hours. How fast is to make an Americano? Done, right?
Yeah.
A cold brew takes time, but it's better coffee and it tastes better, and it's a lot. That's the same thing. It's all that stuff you have to assimilate, digest, and then it's going to come out as knowledge. But that takes time, and unfortunately, that is not what's being promoted. It's 6 weeks, it's weekend certification, it's all that stuff.
Yeah,
it doesn't work like that, man. It's like a black belt in jiu-jitsu, man. It takes time. You got to put in the work.
Right.
You gotta teach yourself. Again, it's not me teaching you. I'm going to teach you how to learn. Right. You're going to teach yourself. But that's what I'm going to give you is the capacity to teach yourself. And then you go do it. Yeah. But you have to teach yourself. I can only teach you how to learn.
Got it. Yeah,
that's it. That's as far as it goes, man.
So Coaches Week. Got to get on that.
Exactly. Yep.
The other question was marketing and advertising for your CrossFit gym with StrongFit philosophies. How did you go about? Like, what was a couple steps you took to work that towards that way? Kind of, I don't know. I guess you could say away from the CrossFit name. I don't know. What did you?
Well, let me get back to when I decided.
Are you a CrossFit affiliate now?
No, I'm not a de-affiliated. My take on it was I always stick to Mark Twain, who said, whenever you find yourself on the side of your maturity, it is time to pause and reflect. That doesn't mean you have to change necessarily everything, but like from time to time, I took a step back, evaluated, and for me at that time, it was the right decision. Maybe not executed properly, but I don't see it as a mistake now. It's a learning process. It wasn't perfect. Maybe it was just incomplete the way I did it, but that's all right for me. So the same goes for me with marketing. I think it makes personally no sense to do like traditional marketing. My biggest marketing tool is being me, like transporting knowledge through videos, through my members, through my coaches, using my coaches as a marketing tool, but not using them on Facebook, but making them better.
So we call that word of mouth.
Which, I mean, how it's all started, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. Yeah, that's
Infusionsoft and that stuff, it's online dating.
Yeah.
It's 1,000 pictures looked at, 3 likes, 0 dinner. Or 0 relationship, let's put it this way. Right? Or it's the good old fashioned, ooh, that girl is pretty over there, I'm gonna go talk to her. Am I gonna get shut down? Yeah, most of the time, but there's that one and how did you... You know what I mean? This is where we're going now. It's that fucking online dating. You have no idea who's coming.
Facebook ads.
Facebook ads where you get 30,000 views, you get 19 likes, 0 stuff. And now, because it happened to us, and now I'm waking up one morning and I'm seeing on Facebook a video of my seminar I would not sign up for. That's when I'm like, no more.
Yeah.
I listen at first, they're like, yeah, but look, 30,000 views. Who gives a shit? It's Tinder. Oh. Yeah, they view me, but they swiped. Who cares? I had 19 likes on the video. This is not me. That's not what I do anyway. I was like, we stop. It makes sense. Not to me, it doesn't. That's not who I am. That's not what I do. I don't want any of, so that's why, like, I don't want any of that shit. I'm like, let me talk to people. I'll go talk to gym owners. I'll go train there. I'll go train with them. Then maybe they have, I do the Q&A at CrossFit 858, right? So there was like, 20, 40 people. Maybe 3 will join the seminar next time. Why will they join the seminar? Because they want to get the knowledge about the StrongFit principles. I want those 3 people. I don't give a shit about the 30,000 that saw me on Facebook. I could not care less. So is it as fast as the Tinder stuff? Probably not, but who cares? You get a lot of hookups and you get no relationship. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, that refers back to the identity of your gym. Of course, you gain some members through Facebook marketing and advertising, but
do they stay?
Yeah, why are they coming? Are they coming because of you or because of the Facebook ad? And that's, I mean...
Are they staying?
You mentioned it before.
That's the biggest one. Are they staying?
What if your gym, a certain development of your gym was meant to take 5 years from the beginning?
Yeah, what if it was never 2 years?
It's meant to be 5 years.
What if they lied to you, consciously or not? Yeah. What if it was never 2 years? Because maybe it was 2 years back then, but now that it's settled, maybe it's 5 years. What if right now, the time it takes to be successful in CrossFit gym is 5 years and not 1 year like it used to be 10 years ago?
Right.
Things have changed, right?
Yeah.
How about the training system has not, unfortunately, but the conditions have changed.
Yeah.
What if now it takes so long?
But now you're trying to speeden up a process through Facebook and marketing and stuff like this, but it's not meant to be that fast because you lose the density of your gym.
And that's not who you are. That's not what we do. That's global gym. That's not what we do. But certainly if we talk about word of mouth and building a community, how important is that coffee shop in your gym?
Very.
Exactly. See, that's why it matters, because now you have people hanging out. When people hang out, they bring their friends. And the friend comes, you get to talk to that friend. He gets to know your values. And maybe he's like, that looks like a good gym I want to be. So now you get people that come because of your values, because of who you are, and that's who you want. That's what I want at my seminars. I want people that know me. If you have never seen my videos or my vlogs or whatever, why are you paying $600 to go see my videos? You're supposed to know stuff when you come see me. Otherwise, if you never, I mean, that's what I want. So when I do the Q&A, I'm like, let me ask you questions. I have the answer. Then come to the seminar, we can start a relationship.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's not about the seminar for me. What I want you is I want you to be certified at the end. I want you to go through the mentoring program. That's what I want for everyone. Because through the mentoring program, it's an apprenticeship. I get to talk to you every day on Facebook. You get to see me twice a month on calls. We get to talk. I get to teach you how to learn properly. I get to see you become a better human being as well as a coach, as a business owner and everything. I want to see that because it's a relationship. I want to see you do better. I don't want just to know about it. I want to see you do it. So I want everybody in the mentoring program so I can see through the apprenticeship people doing better. Then I know what I'm doing matters. Because that's what I want out of my life. I want to know that what I do matters. And I want to see you do better so I can see it. So I know what I do is not a waste of time. It's not, like I want to see people do better.
That big at the seminar too.
That's what I want. And so who do I want at the seminar? I want people I'm going to be able to take to the mentoring program. Not everybody are going to go, but I'm hoping there's a huge percentage that does.
Percentage is a good percentage.
So that's who I want. Okay. So that's why I don't give a shit about the Facebook. I want people that know me, that have seen the vlog, that are intrigued by what I say, that then can come and we can start a journey together, a relationship. That's what I want. And so if that's what you want, then you have to foster that space. That space requires the fucking coffee shop so that they can hang out and you can talk and you can say, this is who I am. Because that's who you meet the girl and say, can we talk? How about we go have coffee so I can explain to you who I am. If you do it on fucking Tinder, it's like, then what are you getting? That's not who I want. I want someone I can relate to, talk to, have a relationship with. If I see a girl, I'll get shut down half the time, but maybe there's that one who's going to want to have coffee with me. And I'll be, this is my life. This is what I do. Are you interested? We have the same values. First date is shit, okay, we don't move forward. But this is who I am. Are you interested in a life with me? That is, by the way, having a girl that turned 13 in a few days, so that should be interesting from any of you women out there. So is that what you want? Do you want my life?
Yeah.
Because look at the crazy life that I have. Welcome to being a single dad of a girl who's come back to be a teenager, not staying 3 weeks. So who wants that life? Not many people. But what good is Tinder to me if you don't want that life? Then I'll never have a relationship anyway, right? So to me, it's exactly that. It's like, this is who I am. Either you accept and you love that, but if you don't love my life, then how could we have anything anyway? So I want your people come and they go dude, I share your values, and then you'll have them forever.
Yeah.
And imagine if each member that you have was that person.
Right.
You would walk in the gym every day going, I love this.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I want to create.
So, but you have to develop that safe space for them to, and how are they going to know your values if they can't talk to you?
Right.
Where are they going to talk to you? You're at the gym all day. Then they have to talk to you at the gym.
Yeah.
And you only talk about training, by the way.
Yeah. So it has to be a bit more than that.
2 or 3 minutes, before and after.
Because there's no space to. So see, maybe that barbecue on Friday night.
Yeah, and that kind of goes into my next thing.
But that's your marketing.
Yeah.
Is that?
That makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's your marketing because it's you. Right. Don't give up the marketing to anybody but you, because that's your values, right?
Yeah.
That's your marketing. You are.
Okay.
Not the fucking Facebook ads, not Infusionsoft, not emailing people in your neighborhood. No, you do it. It's your marketing is you. It's that space in your gym where you get to talk to people. It's those barbecues you're going to do. Now you're a gym owner.
Yeah.
You're not just a coach running a space, which is a mistake I made, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, we're implementing that. We have
that you're doing good.
That's what I was going to get at too. Yeah. I noticed on your Instagram that you did it was like a deadlift and donuts, poker and beer party type thing. It is now
best thing ever, right?
That's a regular thing.
That's a regular. So
absolutely. Yeah, we do have
you host it at your gym.
We do, absolutely. We have a Dodgeball Tournament coming up this Saturday, actually, with 75 people signed up.
That's amazing.
And basically has nothing to do with training.
Yeah.
It is a very good reason to show up, do some crazy stuff, have some beer afterwards.
The Conor McGregor Mayweather.
Yeah.
So but he was in Europe, so that means the fight is at 6 in the morning. Yeah. So they had a party from 8 o'clock at night till 6 in the morning. Some made it to watch the games. Some were back asleep in the back. Yeah. But they basically got drunk and danced all night, and almost nobody made it to the fight. But it was an excuse to have a party where everybody danced. And
6 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Again, half the gym signs up every time. Now you have a community.
Yeah.
If anytime you do something, half your gym signs up.
That's great. I think that's amazing.
They're bringing friends
that's
anyway.
Really cool.
Yeah. Then how many people show up just for coffee a day on average? 10?
Yeah.
10, 15 people show up. just to drink coffee.
Or after classes, I just hop in.
Do you have like a little coffee spot? In
Yes, I do. I actually built a small self-made. It's a coffee shop. It's a table with a shelf, and it's
Just make it look good. Doesn't matter. Hipster, man. Hipster. If you're broke, make it like broke hipster.
Yeah.
Looks even better.
Broken
That's
machine,
retro.
broken everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was basically. I was kind of curious how what that deadlift and donuts poker party was about, and it's basically what it was.
It's having
That's what
fun.
It said, yeah.
Remember
That's what it is.
old school CrossFit, isn't that
Yeah.
what the whole
Yeah.
fucking thing was? Community, man. But yours,
Yeah.
your own community. To me, it's the best idea.
I think that covered like pretty much all of mine.
Yeah, but we're going back to the culture of the gym, man.
Yeah, that's what
Your
comes to
culture,
that.
not even the culture of the gym, your culture. To me, you're the single most important part of the gym. The difference between failing and making it. But that requires more than your coaching.
Right. Well,
It requires you as a person to become the gym.
Right.
Like it has to be you. You have to have balls to do that because it's you as a person. StrongFit is me, if you look. So when people criticize StrongFit, they criticize me directly.
right.
Because I don't run CrossFit, I run my life. This is run the way I do things. So when they talk about the lack of structure, I'm always, that's not, no, I'm chaotic because I need the randomness for, that's called reinforcement learning, that's a different problem. But I'm just chaotic by nature because I need randomness, because I need to always explore new things. And I mean, but so if you look at StrongFit, it's me. I don't run a business, I run my life.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
So that's why I travel everywhere, because that's what I want to do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, so that's me.
Yeah.
But so it's a two-way street. When people go at it, they go at me.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes that makes you, like you're out there, right? It's you. So you have to also see that. But the gym has to be you. So whenever you see a bad review or stuff like that, you want to hunt the person down who wrote that and know exactly who that is, so you could talk to them face to face.
Right.
That's why I don't read the reviews anymore. Who's the motherfucker who said that? So, because it's you, but that to me is the only way. But then you have a true culture because you have a true identity because it's you, and that you know exactly who you are. So then it can be truly your gym. But to me, that's the difference. Now I'm in the stage where I look at StrongFit and I'm like, yeah.
And we talked about it a couple of days ago. We think there's a certain size that a gym can grow to until it starts losing this tribe feeling. Mm-hmm. Like if you're having a gym with 280 members, it's kind of hard to get that culture still
150. 150, open another one. We see at the seminar, 25 people ask questions, 40, nope. It took 4-5 hours for people to start asking questions because the tribe was too big. So I'll have to deal with that when there's more than 25 people and me make it more comfortable. I have to find a way to do that. It's a different tribe at 40 than it is at 20. It's not the same. I don't think a gym past 150 members, I think you lose the tribe. I think you should go open another one.
Yeah.
150 limited, done. And then then go open another one. But go open a different community.
Do you have at your gym, let's say, you notice how I think Richard programs for the powerlifting templates?
Yep.
Do you do separate? You obviously use the powerlifting template at your gym. Is it a separate class?
So again, I'm using the StrongFit principles for teaching powerlifting, but I'm not using another one's method to teach it because we are a couple of coaches at my gym, and everyone has a different approach of how to coach powerlifting. Yeah. Not in terms of principles, but in terms of methods. Okay. So whether you're using exercise A or B or C, but it's always about structure first, then blah 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 blah. Yeah. So we're not following the template itself.
So
would that be a separate class then?
You could. Whatever makes sense to you, man. Okay. But let's say you want a CrossFit class, but you want people to be super strong in the powerlifting lift, so you decide to implement it in most classes. Okay? Yeah. That is your decision. You want it because you think this is the best way. Then you do that, and then you try, and then you see if it works or not. You have to be willing to accept mistakes, man. Yeah. You know how many I did? All of them, probably. Yeah, you have to be willing to accept. You cannot teach yourself. By definition, if you don't make mistakes, you can't teach yourself. Then you're looking at somebody else for mistake, but then whose decision is it then? Then it's not yours, it's mine. Right. And that's not the point. Don't do things because I said so, don't think because anybody said so. You get the lesson, right? You get the principles behind it, and you go apply it. And you teach yourself whether it was the right way or not, based on what you want. And then if that's what you want, then you use that. If it's not, then you try a different way. Always try random shit to see if it works or not. Anyway.
Sounds good.
But that's, so it's based on you.
Yeah.
You are the owner, you are everything. You're the marketing, you're everything. You're the culture at your gym. Nobody else. That's where I think people lose it.
Yeah.
So it's more work than you think when you get into it. Exactly. That's the other part too, right? Yeah. We all thought, like that's why I can train, and then I teach 2 classes a day. That's why I can train a lot, and yeah, that goes. Yeah, that going.
It's not gonna work that way. Yeah.
No, but we all think when we open the gym, but it's gonna be different for me. Sure, dude, it's gonna be different from you and everybody else. No problem.
It's good though. I have a good support system. I got Haley.
Of course. It's best.
So.
It's a great. By the way, this is all I thought I would do in my life, is have my gym and train some people, make them better, and I would have been extremely happy about it. I would have been extremely happy with a life.
When, let's say, what was it, 2008 when you opened in Torrance?
Yep.
So forget the fact that the crash and everything, but were you ever think you're gonna travel the world?
Never.
You never thought that would?
No, I thought I was have like a normal gym life, man. I would just be a coach, like get privates, maybe a class going, but I was thinking mostly private, make a hopefully fairly good living out of it, got my house, raise my daughter, get her to school, have about as a normal gym life as that was my goal. I would have been extremely happy doing it. My goal in life was to have a gym that does well, so it pays all the bills, and you put maybe a little bit of money aside in case rainy days or shit like that, and that was it. That's about as far as I aim for. Like, I would have been extremely happy with that.
10 years later, you're traveling.
It's just crazy shit keeps happening to me. So I'm like, and I keep making it through. That's probably the craziest part.
Awesome.
I keep surviving it, so I'm like, I guess we're going next.
Yeah.
But I never planned for any of this. I mean, I don't plan for anything really, but that was never the plan ever. I just wanted a gym life, man. I wanted to be a gym owner and then make it a cool place, fix people.
Mm-hmm. Next thing you know,
and that was it. That's about as far as I am. And it's just, I don't know. I start to do a podcast. People seem interested in what I had to say, which I didn't get at the time. And then the barbell shrug, and I was like, it should be good. I had no idea what was coming next. And so I was like, maybe I can make the system a bit better. And then I just keep making it better. So I was like, oh, there's a cool stuff right there. And then I just kept following rabbit hole, and then I would have been very happy with just a gym life, man.
Turned out pretty well though. So far.
Turned out all right.
Good. Yeah.
Turned out good. It's
Cool.
pretty good at the end.
I think that's all my questions though. For
All
now.
right.
Cool. Thanks for
awesome.
having you.
Yeah. Thanks
for coming,
me.
man.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure as usual.
Awesome.
I'll come back to your gym to train some more.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
You bet.
Good.